stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you here up in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Coming with a dank, skrilling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights live here on Woodward Sports. I am Spencer Axter, joined at the desk by Chris Platty.
First time, man. First time doing a show with you. Done it a couple times before. It's always been easy. Always felt like, you know, I was your replacement. Now I'm replacing Easy. It's a weird thing. You got me on the desk. You got Nick wearing weird clothes. You got everything's just out of normal.
Chris, I was gonna be passive today. I was gonna make your job easy on the desk. Shots fired early.
Says. And we got Uncle Pete in the TV booth filling in. Pete, appreciate
Pistons
you.
opening night, baby.
Appreciate you filling in. Yeah, Pistons opening night. We're going to talk a lot of Pistons. Obviously, we got the basketball head on the desk here, so we're going to talk a lot of Pistons. But before we do that, we got to talk Red Wings, all right? I feel like nobody's talked about the Red Wings. The Red Wings had a big win last night, coming and winning against the Islanders with the least amount of shots in a victory for an NHL team since 1959. They only got 10 shots on net in the entire game. Obviously, Patrick Kane cashed one of them to give them a 1-0 lead, and Alex Lyon just showed out and stood on his head the entire game. It was impressive. I was happy to do it, but Nick, that Red Wings offense is starting to get a little concerning here.
Yeah, shout out newcomer Vladdy to set up Kane like that, and luckily Kane was able to take advantage there. But yeah, I mean, Raymond still has yet to get going on the goals, scoring goals, but I think it will come together. I got faith in Marco Kasper. I like the way he opened up some opportunities specifically for Bergeron late in that game.
Yes.
I really enjoyed seeing that because these young guys do have to take that next step up if you are going to get where you need to be a contender. But one of the biggest things I was happy with was Simon Edvinsson,
yes.
Bro. What were your first thoughts on Simon Edvinsson? Because I thought he played extremely well. After making one glaring mistake in that game, he fixed it very fast.
Yeah, Edvinsson was very impressive. He's been getting better and better with every game he's played now in his NHL career. And last night he was very, very good. Him and Mo Seider as that top defensive pairing is as good as you're going to get defensively in the NHL. So it's great to see them gelling. It's great to see Edvinsson becoming what I thought he would be. But like I said, the offense is a little right now. They need to work on it. They need to work on the power play. Maybe get Edvinsson some more looks at that power play defenseman, the quarterback per se, because he is probably the player with the most offensive upside out of our defensemen. But good win for the Wings. I don't know if you guys watched it. Did you watch it?
I did not, but my question to you, to go off the line, because I know that was like the key for them last year, was the idea of that being so important to them. How feasible is it to ask them to duplicate what they did last year with their power play? Because they were one of the best teams with that. So was it like an unreal standard to hold them to this year, or?
No, I mean they did. They had the 9th best power play in the NHL last year, and they lost a couple big pieces on that power play, losing obviously Gostisbehere, who was your quarterback, and losing David Perron, who was great on the power play. But you still got Patrick Kane, you still got Dylan Larkin, Tarasenko, Alex DeBrincat. Like, you have enough firepower for that power play to be very good. So I don't think it's saying, okay, we lost those guys, so throw it out. They need to get better. They need to be better, and they have the skill set and the player base to do so. I'm looking forward to that. They're going into New Jersey. Is that tonight or is that tomorrow night? I believe
it's tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow. They're playing New Jersey.
Might be Friday.
Yeah, it might be Friday. No, I think it's tomorrow. They're playing New Jersey, and they're going there. Yeah. And New Jersey has let up 3 goals in 5 games so far this year. At least 3 goals in 5 games so far this year. So maybe they can get their offensive woes righted against the Devils.
Yeah, tomorrow New Jersey comes into town to play the Red Wings. I think that would be great for this team offensively, but I still do want to stick to that defensive price, and I believe the PK was so crucial in this game to winning. You shut down the Islanders 3 times in this one. And obviously, when Lyon puts out a shutout, you're just hoping and praying one doesn't get to the back of the net because you know they're going to score the second one because our offense was non-existent in this game. I thought a guy that was playing the PK that we have not seen in years past was a guy like Marco Kasper. And you don't really see rookies out there that often doing that, having that much on their plate. And then Dylan Larkin, some really big face-off draws to win there.
Late.
And I was like, so excited for that. Even when the offense isn't clicking, you found a way to win an extremely tough game against a good opponent, which I think come the end of the season, that'll be big for the standings in the point total.
Yeah, it will for sure. Yeah, it was a great win. You needed to get it done. Shout out to Alex Lyon. Like he's literally the only reason we won that game. So
go.
Yeah, great performance by him. 10 shots on net is absolutely unacceptable. You can't do that. You need to do that in a period.
That's terrible.
Not an entire game. Like I said, the least shots on net in a victory since 1959.
Sounds like a lot of just, in general, just line problems, combinations.
Yeah, they tried to change some things around, but I don't know. They need to get better. They need to get better flat out offensively. Defense looks good, but they need to be better offensively. But we got more to talk about here. Another big thing that happened in the sporting world today, DeAndre Hopkins traded to the Kansas City Chiefs from the Tennessee Titans so we don't have to see D-Hop this week. That's pretty cool. They also traded their middle linebacker that they got from the Rams to the Seahawks. So the Titans are completely fire sailing, but D-Hop to the Chiefs. What are your first thoughts?
My first thoughts are, now I know why that line didn't move with the JMO news.
Yeah.
Because it didn't actually go up a point.
Probably.
I think it did jump from 10 to 11 or something like that. But no, I'm glad because I kind of started to scare myself into the idea of a Cooper Kupp going there or them getting just that A-list stud to pair next to Patrick Mahomes and all the weapons that they got. So, this is a good move for them. But, I was scared that they were going to make a bigger and better move. So I like it. And obviously this benefits the Lions too right now in the short term. You got an even easier matchup going into this game, which, has the JMO implications, which we'll talk about. For sure. And yeah, it's sucks. Like the rich get richer. DeAndre Hopkins is still good. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he's washed. He's nothing anymore. He's still he's better than any receiver on the Chiefs roster right now. So it was a need, obviously, with the Rashee Rice going down for them. And it sucks. I hate the Chiefs.
Mic drop, I win, you lose.
How was Sam today about it?
I don't know.
Okay, I was going to say the mic drop. Yeah, the Kansas City, as you said, the rich get richer here. I think if you are in a fantasy league and somehow he has not been picked up yet, go do that immediately. That's what I woke up to this morning, immediately checked all my leagues. This is easily going to become Patrick Mahomes' number one option, the best wide receiver he's had there in a long time. Since maybe Tyreek Hill. He is a vet, obviously. Maybe his first step isn't as fast as it used to be, but he knows how to get behind receivers. He knows how to still go up for the 50-50 ball. In a big game, you can count on D-Hop to make a contested catch, get you a big first down, get you a touchdown. And these are the moves that Super Bowl winning teams make.
Yeah.
How does the Ravens respond, or how do the Ravens respond? Sorry about that. I'm all over the place, all jacked up off this coffee.
Off Mountain Dew.
Yeah. How do the Lions respond to this?
It is. I mean, I don't know if this is the move you need to respond to. It is a good move, but I still like the Lions' odds if they play the Chiefs, even with DeAndre Hopkins. They need to make moves for their own reason. I don't know if they need to make a move to respond to this one, but you're right. We saw the Bills get a receiver. We saw the who else went out and got a receiver in that same division? Didn't somebody else get it? Who just traded for us?
No.
The Bills got Amari Cooper.
The
Jets got
the Jets got Devontae Adams. Yeah, and now we say KC getting DeAndre Hopkins. Obviously, the Jets are not considered any of the big boys in the AFC, but this seemed like a move to go in line with the Bills.
I mean, it is deja vu. You talk about the stories. You talk about the storybook narratives of the Lions. The thing we had last year was the rich kept getting richer, and the Lions were the team that stood pat, didn't make a move.
Yeah.
So this is another trade deadline where you're seeing the teams that are contending making moves, And you got to do that if you're the Detroit Lions, because you are absolutely that. There's no running from that like you did last year, the happy to be here. Let's see where this goes. We don't think we're there yet. No, you're here.
Yeah.
You're here, and you got to make a move. So, time to right the wrongs.
Pete?
Yep. I tell you what, DeAndre Hopkins, if you take a look back at what has happened to him in the last 4 years of his career, aside from having Mayonnaise Boy and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer throwing him the ball in Tennessee, this guy in 2022 had 5 different quarterbacks in Arizona, including Colt frickin' McCoy.
Yeah.
So his career is far from over because the last 4 years he hasn't had a decent quarterback throwing, and now he's got one of the best, if not the best ever quarterbacks throwing him the ball. He's definitely going to make a mark. He's going to be a thorn in the side of Baltimore when they face off in the playoffs. It's going to be interesting, but he'll be double covered. We'll see what one guy I'm interested in on the Chiefs is, Mr. Taylor Swift. What the frick has happened to him, man?
Yeah.
Where's he gone? He's melted like the Wicked Witch of the West.
I would say he's more washed than DeAndre Hopkins is, honestly. Like, Travis Kelce's not look good.
That's fair.
It's been a couple years now. Noah Gray's going to take his spot.
Must have weak legs.
Must have weak legs, for sure. Well, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start with some Lions. Just a quick update on Jameson Williams, then a quick update on Max Crosby and what's going on there. And then it's all Pistons all the time after that. So
Let's go, baby.
First, let's go to break real quick. I know Chris is excited, but tell us about Mark White.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins, if you're looking to buy a new home, you should be buying one in Detroit. Those that are buying one in Detroit, buy a new home with Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts. They're here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 on your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesales.com.
And let me tell you about Caesars Sportsbook. If you save $5,000 with Mark White, you got a lot of free money on the line. Maybe you want to head over to Caesars Sportsbook and make some money, and you could do that and get up to $1,000 back if your first bet is with code word Woodward 1000. That's right, $1,000 back, up to $1,000 if your first bet doesn't hit. Minimum bet $25. Woodward Sports is the official partner with Caesars Sportsbook. Scan that QR code right there. Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Dr. Jeff Pierce is the injury insider here at Woodward Sports. He is of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit him at michigansportsandspine.com or call 248-426-9944. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. I'm Spencer Axter. He is Chris Platty. We're joined by
opening day.
Nick and Pete as well. Happy opening day for the Pistons. But let's talk Lions first. We got to pay the bills. Lions first.
That's true.
We got a lot of Pistons coming up, but we know Lions are on the mind. And a big thing going around, obviously, is the Jameson Williams situation. He is still facing. He hasn't been suspended yet, but he is facing a 2-game suspension due to PESs, performance-enhancing substances. And this is a tweet today from Justin Rogers on the situation. He said, Jameson Williams will practice today. He was informed of a positive test this week and is still weighing whether to accept that result in a 2-day suspension or appeal. The appeal window is limited. If his interpretation of NFL documentation is correct, he has 5 days. Dan Campbell says, I trust the kid, but you have to pay for your sins. Said he's been climbing the rope, maybe lost his grip, and will need to climb back up. So it sounds like Jameson Williams is probably going to get suspended. Obviously, he's still facing it. He could appeal if he wants to. If it's truly, worthy of appeal, he could appeal and maybe get it down to 1 or maybe get it dropped in general. But we need to see what happens first, because if Jameson Williams does get suspended, if he does get suspended, this week needs to be a part of it.
Yes.
This week against Tennessee needs to be a part of it if Jameson Williams does get suspended.
Yes, absolutely. To me, the only way you fight this appeal is if you know you have a legit shot of winning this appeal.
Yes.
Because right now, if you fight it, and that was the thing I asked yesterday on the show, was, okay, if you delay it through the appeal process and you lose the Tennessee game, you let J-Mo play there, then you're risking him at Green Bay and Houston. So you have to take advantage of this Tennessee game that we all think is very winnable. The team is having a fire sale. They're not a good team anyways. On top of that, you're at home. You can easily crush this team without Jameson Williams. Now, I have confidence in this team without Jameson Williams in almost any game. But you still would ideally, you would like to have him back for that Houston game if possible. The only way, I get the importance of that Green Bay game, but the only way I do that is if I know I can legit fight this, and it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
I mean, even when your coach has to say the words "pay for your sins," that doesn't scream I'm standing behind my guy, I believe in him, let's fight this. This is just gamesmanship, and you don't need to do gamesmanship against Tennessee. Like, you don't have to do the, are we gonna play? Is J-Mo not gonna play? That does not matter in this Tennessee game. No offense, but it doesn't matter. So to me, just take this on the chin. That Green Bay game is going to hurt. That is going to be something that Jameson Williams is going to have to look back on and could be a real important moment for this team this season. But you have to take it now. You can't risk losing it for that Houston Texans game, which is a team that looks like they're coming together at the right time.
Yeah, that is the worst case scenario, is if he appeals the suspension, the suspension gets upheld, and he has to miss Green Bay and Houston. That would be the worst case scenario. So I believe it is either Friday or Saturday, which is the last day that they need to know before it's official. Like, it has to be either appealed or not appealed by Friday or Saturday, and we'll see what happens there. But like you said, we saw what Dan Campbell said there about it. When it was first announced, Dan Campbell said something similar, and Jameson Williams himself said, this is something I just got to take on the chin, pause. And it sucks, but I got to roll with it, basically. And that's where I'm at. It's going to happen. It sounds like, whether we like it or not. It sucks. Mistake. It's a mistake, but mistakes happen. Just learn from it and don't commit the same mistake again. He'll be back in no time. But if he is suspended, if he faces these games, Tennessee needs to be a part of it. And where was
Absolutely.
it? DNC ENT says, honestly, I don't care when J-Mo is gone, and I love the man, but this offense is so deep, I don't care who outside of Goff, we can miss them for 2 games. Well, yeah, I mean, you can, but I care. I would not want Jameson Williams to be missing both Green Bay and Houston on the road. Like, if you're telling me you can either have J-Mo for Houston at Houston or Tennessee in Detroit, I'm going to take him for Houston at Houston.
Yes.
So, Nick, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing that Dan Campbell said to me was, first, pay for your sins. Like that, I think J-Mo confessed to, in a way, doing something that was wrong. Like, I think he knows that he did something wrong, that he screwed up either way. This is me speculating, 100% not confirmed. Just from what Dan Campbell said, that's what I took away from it. And the other thing was, he said twice that we have his back.
Yeah.
We trust J-Mo. And I think that's what is so big for this team. Because not just the coaching staff, not just, Jameson Williams himself, but these players on this team have Jameson Williams back. And do you know why? Because Jameson Williams works hard as hell every single day, and he makes their jobs way easier.
Yes.
Every single game that they go out that Jameson Williams is playing, it makes their job so much easier. It's easier to get open. The running backs have way more room to run. And yeah, if he's out at the Packers at Lambeau, it is a big deal if he misses that game because it's in division, it's in the NFC. That's who you're probably going to go down the line with to get that home playoff game, winning the NFC North. But last season, the Detroit Lions went 4-1 without Jameson Williams in the lineup. They've done this before, sadly, and they're obviously going to have to do it again here shortly. I trust this offense. I trust this team. I trust everybody involved to get the job done without Jameson Williams, and he'll be ready to go when he comes back.
Exactly, and it's not like he's gone for the season. It's not like he's gone for this long stretch of games. He'll be gone for 2 games, and one of them is going to be, hopefully only one of them is going to be against a team that has a pulse. So we'll see what happens there. But
I mean, I trust it. I trust this coaching regime to deal with that in-house. I trust this management team to deal with this in-house, let him know the severity and hold him to the accountability that he needs to be held, because I see so much of that conversation too, in the chat, in our chat, and just everywhere on Twitter. I see all the discourse about the accountability factor of it. Guys, our opinions don't matter. I trust what they got in-house. I trust the culture that they have built is bulletproof, and they are going to get J-Mo on the right track. Everything is going to work out there. I don't like that whole narrative that I'm seeing on Twitter. The accountability has to be on J-Mo, and you guys make all these excuses for him and all this. Like, I don't want to even entertain those conversations, really.
Yeah, I mean, he made a mistake, and it is what it is.
Can I just say one real quick thing?
Yeah.
I brought up the point yesterday, or actually 2 days ago, about Jimmy Garoppolo being suspended 2 games for the PED because he didn't file paperwork. And I am fully convinced that we might have a paperwork issue. I think that I personally think J-Mo, because if you take a look at his this isn't a character bash, but he has some behavioral patterns which might be ADHD. I wonder if he went outside the locker room, outside the doctors, went to an outside doctor to get medication for something like ADHD, didn't file the paperwork, and that's all that this is. And I think that we just need to relax on the whole issue because he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, no, it's nothing malicious. Yeah. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
It was just, like I said, it was just a mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Mistakes happen. You just can't make the same mistake twice. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, nothing is set in stone yet. They haven't even finalized the suspension, but hopefully we get some clarity by the end of the week on whether or not he is going to be missing those games. But, Nick?
Yeah, this team put up 27 points a game last year when he was out.
Yeah.
Play some defense. You're going to win these games.
For sure. It's not the end of the world, and he'll be back. It's really, it sucks, but it's not that big of a deal.
You don't build the number one offense on one player. You don't.
No.
It's multiple players.
And we'll see. It's a weird situation because, I've never seen this kind of thing where it's like he got announced that he's facing a suspension, and then they announced everybody else who got suspended except for him. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
I just don't get the whole. I don't get the whole waiting for the appeal thing if you're not gonna actually do it. That's the part that I don't get from it. I don't get why he doesn't just take this on the chin if he's going to.
Yeah, and he said, he held himself accountable. So everybody who's saying you can't hold him accountable, you shouldn't he held himself accountable. He literally came out here. Go look at Eric Woodyard's tweets about the quotes he said about he's going to take it on the chin. It's his fault, and we move on. And that's all we can do. So, it's crazy. It sucks because he's so fun to watch, but it is what it is. Hopefully, it's just they plead it down to just one game, and he just has to miss Tennessee. That would be the best case scenario, but we'll see what happens later in the week. We are going to go to break, though. We're going to talk about Max Crosby, hear what he had to say, and give some updates on him. But first, Nick, tell us about the pregame show.
Woodward and Maine. It's every single Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. It's Woodward and Maine. It's with rising star Matthew Broder and Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster. Make sure you check it out. And after that, make sure you check out the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show. It's with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian, and they bring you the best Lions pregame show Sunday 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports. And for the home games, make sure you check out Second Best Bar, where they host the pregame show. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. And catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
They've started.
Wah, 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 wah. That's all I hear out of Max Crosby right there. That is player talk. That is being a good soldier. Nobody wants to be in Las Vegas right now. You guys suck. You guys suck. Come home, Max. No, but that was Max Crosby talking about the rumors swirling around. Welcome back. Smash that like button. Make sure you do that. For Nick, for Chris, for Nick, for Pete, I'm Spencer.
Mixing up your booth boys.
We are the heavyweights. Make sure you smash that like button. So there you hear Max Crosby say that. Does that sway your opinion at all?
No, man. It's like Nick with his master hot dog soup plan. It's all just a spin. It's all just a PR narrative spin. There's no real substance to it. It's not these words don't hold weight. There's nothing about this Crosby thing that he's supposed to say these things.
Yes.
He's supposed to say, I want to be here. This is not the NBA where you have that level of star player empowerment where you could just say, I don't want to be here, or this GM needs to go get me some talent or else I'm leaving. Like the way that NBA superstars are able to leverage their power, the NFL players just do not have that at this particular time. And Crosby, as good as he is, does not have that leverage. So the obvious answer is to go quiet down the fire. I mean, he even put the loophole out there. It is a business at the end of the day. So if he gets traded, he now can say to everybody, hey, you know what? This wasn't on me. This was their decision. I didn't force this. That's all this is.
Nick?
Chris, I disagree with you. Mr. NBA savant.
Oh, wow.
No, you just saw it happen in LA. What do you mean it doesn't happen in football? These guys do this all the time. You just saw it happen in Vegas where Devontae was the one that was asking to be traded, creating this media hype around it. Devontae went for a 4th rounder to pair up with his buddy. He had a choice, and he went to the ownership and called him out. And you know who else did it to get it back on track here? Matthew Stafford. He said he didn't want to go through another rebuild. He went to Brad Holmes. He got options of teams to trade him to. You guys remember that Carolina trade that, came out a little bit later, but we traded him to the team he wanted to be traded to in the Rams. So, yeah, stars can ask out, and I think it does. It takes down their trade potential when they do, which I believe Max Crosby's doing the Raiders a solid by not publicly coming out and saying that.
Well, they can, Nick, you're right. But in both your instances you are referencing them talking to ownership, them talking to management. This is a public platform that he's saying these things on. Matt Stafford didn't come out and say publicly, trade me from Detroit. He had some quotes that can be construed that way, of course, but it wasn't a direct public trade demand. Those type of things in the NFL are handled behind the scenes. Am I wrong there, Spencer?
No, you're definitely right. You don't see a lot of NFL players openly going on platforms and saying I want to be traded, but they do request trades from management and ownership for sure. I don't believe this though. How many times do we see this? The guy comes out, I want to be blank for life. Right. Saquon Barkley, I want to be a Giant for life. He's an Eagle a year later, Baker Mayfield, I want to be a Brown for life. He's on 3 different teams after that. It happens all the time. This is what guys are supposed to say. This is what you say. I want to be a blank for life. Until and then something happens. So this doesn't change my opinion or change anybody's opinion. This is what he's supposed to say. This is what a good teammate and a good player says. So those guys that for some reason don't want Max Crosby on this team and are like, he's got character issues, blah, blah, blah. What was that? That was him being a good teammate and a good player.
Yeah, do you think Brad Holmes is sitting back going, fuck, man? You think he's watching that and just pissed off?
He wants to be a Raider for life. Nothing we can do now.
I thought we had him. Yeah. Rats. No, this is just part of the game, man. That's all it is to me. It's just what you're supposed to do. It's the precedent of the NFL.
And Cartier says the Raiders themselves traded Khalil Mack in their prime. It's exactly this is a shit organization. They're gonna do stupid shit. So I would not be surprised if he was, in fact, not a Raider for life. But we have Dan Campbell quoting on what they're doing in the defensive end position, at least for this game in Tennessee. And Dan Campbell said this is from Pride of Detroit, by the way. He says, Dan Campbell says they're still willing to give some of their own guys a shot at edge, including Isaiah Thomas and
Al-Quadin Muhammad.
Thank you, Pete.
Is AQM or Isaiah Thomas going to be the savior of the Detroit Lions pass rush?
You know what? I don't know the answer to that. I don't got the answer, Sway, but I know for damn sure it ain't James Houston. And that's the part that pisses me off. Yeah. We do sports every day. I can't tell you the last time I heard those names. James Houston, come on, we talked extensively about him, and I know that I got to fall on the sword and just say, you know what, he ain't it. But that is crazy to me that they're just that he went on to specifically name players and then not name one in James Houston. That to me is just it's just, dude, they got no faith, man. I was fearful this was going to be an Isaiah Buggs situation. It seems like it's heading there. I don't know if James Houston will stay on this roster or if he will get bought out, released at some point, waived. However that works, but it's frustrating to me because you have a guy in-house that can put pressure on the quarterback. You've seen it, and you just need to give him a shot. Give him a shot in a game against Tennessee. Will Levis is going to just walk into sacks. You don't have to be an elite edge rusher. Give this game to James Houston. See if he can actually do something.
And, yeah, for sure. Wait, where was this? Jay Cruzen says, but where's Khalil Mack now? I don't understand what that means because since Khalil Mack has been traded from the Oakland Raiders at that time, he is a 5-time Pro Bowler and a 3-time All-Pro. So
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, that's pretty good. I would take that in a heartbeat. But Nick, how do you feel about Dan Campbell saying that Isaiah Thomas and AQM are going to get some, or AQM are going to get some run, and they're going to see what they can do?
What the fuck?
James Houston, Isaiah Thomas, or Al Codine? What? What are we doing here? What are we doing? This is all coach speak. Not a chance that any of these guys are the answer. Dan Campbell knows that. We all know that. Sheila knows it. And Martha knows it. Let's be honest here. So Onwuzurike is the guy that steps up in my book. That's the only guy that can step up that I have faith in that's actually going to be on the football field. And I know he's typically a guy that is used inside, but we've seen him used on the edge a little bit this year. So I think it has to be a guy like Onwuzurike and a guy like Josh Pascal to continue to take another step. Even though he hasn't been able to stay on the field throughout his career, Pascal needs to find a way to string together healthy game after healthy game and get to the quarterback and make things easier for those guys in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, this is him talking about right now in this moment against the Titans, because they're going. We've heard everything that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have been saying over the past couple weeks since Aiden Hutchinson's injury. I think everybody believes they're going to get somebody. Maybe not Myles Garrett or Crosby, but they're going to get somebody to bring in here and be their sack guy. Pause. But it's not going to be this week against the Tennessee Titans. So you're going out there. You're probably going to blow this team out. Why not give Ukwu, give AQM, give Isaiah Thomas, give these guys some run to see what they got? I don't have any problem with it. He's not saying like, oh, look out, we got Isaiah Thomas and AQM. We're not trading for anybody. We're good. That's not what he's saying. He's just saying he's going to give these guys some run against the Titans, maybe against the Packers too, because I don't know if somebody gets traded even next week. Before they make a move. They're going to make a move.
You know what? This guy Dan Campbell is loyal to the soil. So I think Spence, what you gotta do, because I know you've been hitting the gym hard. I think you need to just start like hanging around Allen Park, just kind of floating around the practice field. And you know what? Dan Campbell's gonna see something. He's gonna think, you know what? This kid, we're giving him a shot.
I did hit chest
Just go up
today.
and punch him.
We're giving him a shot.
Did hit chest today. Feeling pretty thick. But they're getting somebody.
Yeah. Just go up and punch him. Who went up and punched him? Ragnow, right?
Ragnow.
Yeah. Just go up and punch Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Real quick, Spenny. The only time I want to see any of these guys is in the fourth quarter when Hendon Hooker's also in the game. I believe that's what Dan Campbell is talking about, and I'm not kidding. That's not a joke.
So who do you want to get the edge rushing?
Onwuzurike.
Just you need two at least.
And Pascal.
Just them. They're playing every snap until the fourth quarter.
No, but that's when you
so
bring in
Ukwu, man.
Ukwu.
You're gonna get these guys are gonna get some run throughout the game.
Ukwu and then Houston. Those are my
I would rather
backups.
see either of these guys than Houston. What I've seen out of Houston so far this year is 3 offsides penalties in 12 snaps and not doing much in his next appearance.
Turns out one of the more devastating injuries for the Lions this year was Marcus Davenport.
Yeah, for sure.
Holy
Or
crap.
slept on one, John Kaminsky.
John Kaminsky as well. Kaminsky, I don't know, but his timetable to return, I don't know when he could be coming back. Is he done
thought it
for
was
good?
for
I don't know what his timetable
I don't know, but if we're making a Super Bowl push and you need a guy, I feel like Kamish could rush that up a little bit. Another guy whose timetable might have sped up is Emmanuel Mosley. Emmanuel Mosley was seen out there with the guys. I believe Eric Woodward or ESPN reported that Emmanuel Mosley was out there seen around Lions camp and Lions facility. I'm good with that. I mean, they said his timetable is still, up in the air. They don't know exactly, but it's good to see him around with the team and doing team events at least.
Do I have to sit in the easy chair? Like, do I have to do the Emmanuel Mosley thing? Do I have to just embody his take of Emmanuel Mosley, how this is a steal and this is just a great deal that you can't pass up?
Look out.
No, I mean, obviously I'll take any depth we can get. I like the idea of him, but ultimately, I mean, you can't expect anything from this guy. That news doesn't really do anything to me other than just point out that you're an excellent journalist, Spencer.
Thank you.
And that you do your due diligence.
Thank you. I'm very.
That's really what that
deep in the
points to.
trenches, as the kids say.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, it'll be good if he's back in time for a playoff push. That would be great. Just in case, I'd be more comfortable with him out there than somebody else. If somebody goes down.
That'd be great for how long, though, Spenny?
Yeah, okay.
3,
Now
4
I'm the
snaps,
guy.
3 snaps, 4 snaps. What are we doing
when
here,
I was
boys?
saying this, you guys were all yelling at me.
What are we doing?
Now Spenny was right, huh? Now Spenny's got to be the one defending him. Oh, no, we'll see.
We know who he is when he was healthy 3 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Great player.
We need more edge rushing than cornerbacks, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tom B says, can Mosley rush the passer?
Yeah.
I think he had a sack. Did he have a sack or something?
Not as a Lion.
I think it might have been preseason or something like that when he got in there. But we'll see what happens.
Honestly, at this point,
I think it was at training camp. I saw him get a tackle for loss when he was playing like up towards the line. Yeah, because he was playing at nickel, so he was like at the line of scrimmage and he broke in there and he got a tackle for loss.
Yeah, no, try it honestly, because what's the worst that's gonna happen, dude? Like, this guy's gonna get hurt again? Like, come on. Like,
all right.
Come on, man. Like, we gotta call it. We gotta call it what it is.
Yeah,
gotta call it what it is. I'm wishing good health on everybody though.
Let's see what happens with this pass rushing room before they make some move, because like I said, you can set it in stone. They're going to bring someone in, someone of significance, not a no offense, Isaiah Thomas or AQM. They're going to bring in someone of significance to this defensive line. It's only a matter of time. But coming up next is opening night for the Detroit Pistons.
Yes, sir.
Chris has a path of his own that he'd like you to walk down with him. Original, yeah. Gold Star, trademarked Platy path. We will figure out where that Platy path leads after this. But Chris, tell us about Swiss.
Where it leads. And look, everybody needs insurance. I need insurance. You need insurance. Alliance need insurance. Go to Swiss. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today at 313-530-1698, SwissINS.com.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Main, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at WoodwardSports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
1800 Tequila, the official tequila of Woodward Sports, Lions watch parties, and post-game show. Why the heck not? And I hear a rumor that the 1800 girls are going to be at Hayes Social this coming Sunday. So come and join us and take a look at the 1800 Tequila girls. Join us live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with Smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best tequila taste in Detroit. And please drink responsibly.
All right. Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. I am Spencer Axter. Pete and Nick in the booths, and Chris on the big desk. Feeling ballsy, has his own path. He wants to join the ward of bricklayers and pathmakers that have been on this show. You know, strictly this show.
Yes.
We are the only show that creates paths The Platy Path for the Detroit Pistons.
Trademarked,
by the way.
Yeah.
What's it looking like?
So I did my research because, look, here's the thing we want to do. We all want the Pistons to chase the play-in, right?
Yes.
So I was looking at the previous 10 seeds of the last 3 seasons, and I found some encouraging parallels. Everybody wants to point to Atlanta last year. That one to me was a messy one. That was a team that had a lot of talent, sputtered, had a lot of drama. 36 wins is what it took. I think that's a number that can get you there. But there's a couple other teams. And let's take a look at the 2021-2022 San Antonio Spurs. They snuck in the play-in with only 34 wins at the 10th seed. DeJounte Murray led the team with 21 points. Keldon Johnson had 17 and Derek White 14 a game. Those were their leading scores, their top 3 scores.
Shout out Derek White. Some say he is better than Jason Tatum.
Dude, I mean, he definitely is more valuable. I can tell you that.
I
can tell you that. I mean, look, eighth in points despite shooting a bunch of twos, just playing fundamentally sound basketball. They weren't playing revolutionary basketball. They had a rotation of DeJounte, Keldon, Derek White, Jakob Poeltl, Devin Vassell, Doug McDermott, Lonnie Walker, Trey Jones.
No superstars.
No superstars in that whatsoever. Another team that I think a lot of people will like, one that pays homage to our young Nick in the booth, because he brought this name up particularly when he talked about Kate.
Timberwolves?
No, it is not. It is the 2023 Oklahoma City Thunder.
Ooh.
That snuck in with 40 wins, so that was a higher win mark. But look at their best player, SGA, and what he averaged. 24.5, 5.9 assists, 5 rebounds, 45% from the field, 30% from 3, and only played in 56 games.
Cade will have a better year than that.
Cade can definitely have a better year than that.
He had a better year than that last year.
And Spencer, could you name me like 2 or 3 other players in that rotation?
Chris Paul? Was Chris Paul on that team?
No, that was post Chris Paul.
I was post Chris Paul. Lou Dort.
Lou Dort was their second leading scorer at 17 a game.
Lou Dort. Let's see. Who else do we got? I'm thinking of big men. They didn't have either of the Jalen Williams, did they?
No.
Did they have Steven Adams still?
No.
He was in New Orleans.
Pokusevski.
Yeah, Poku is Poku.
Poku was their guy.
Poku was on that team. I'm trying to think. I know they had some more wings. I don't know.
Yeah, no, this is their rotation. So you got Poku, which was the good one. Poku was the GOAT that they were looking at one point. You got Dort, Giddey, SGA.
Oh, yeah, the Giddler.
That sounds so nasty.
Can't forget about the Giddler.
Can't forget about the Giddler. I just traded him in my fantasy team. Got that off my team immediately.
That's bad
before
for
the
team
season
morale.
even started. Yeah,
Bad for team morale.
for sure. Darius Baisley, Trey Mann,
Baisley. Oh,
Isaiah Roby, like, come on, dude. Like, these are all
Roby's
guys.
solid.
You're telling me this Pistons rotation isn't better than this? And again, I don't think you have to win 40 games, because if you look at that year in the league, it was very well dispersed. You had a lot of 50-win teams. The bottom teams had 30-plus wins. That's not going to be the case with teams like Brooklyn, Washington, handing out victories all year. So I think this is a very doable path to expect them to the playoffs, especially when you look at the other teams. Yeah,
So-
I think you can.
So you think the Pistons of this year could beat up on the teams that were like the Pistons last year enough
exactly
to squeak into that play-in? What do you think would have to be their baseline in wins to make the play-in this year?
I think the baseline will be about 36. I think it will be lower than that 40,
I like it.
40
I like
game
36
threshold.
a lot.
I think it will be lower than that 40-game threshold because, like I said, a lot of teams at the bottom were not losing as many games as what we expect this year from these bad bottom-feeding teams that are tanking for Cooper Flag. So, to me, and look, this Thunder team was 29th in offense and 18th in defense.
Billy Donovan still their head coach?
No, that was the first year of.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark, I forgot how to say his name.
Me too.
Diagonal or something
like that. Yeah.
Something like that. I apologize. But yeah, and guess what their over/under was that season? 23.5.
23.5, you say?
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
And that San Antonio team that snuck in with 34 wins, their over/under entering the season was exactly the Pistons, 28.5.
Wow.
I'm just saying there's precedent, and I went back. These are each of the last 3 years. So basically every year there's one team that does it. Why can't it be the Pistons with proper spacing, new coaching? I don't see this rotation being as bad as those rotations that I outlined. I think it's very reasonable for your second leading scorer to average a 17 per game, whether it be a Tobias Harris or maybe Ivy takes a big step. Like, I think 17 is very doable to ask from your second leading scorer. I think this team has all the makings of a play-in caliber team. Now, do they win in the play-in and get to the playoffs? That's another discussion, but they can absolutely beat up on these weak Eastern Conference teams and Western Conference teams. Don't forget about the Portlands and Utahs that will be tanking this year as well. So there's a lot of wins to go around, and I think this Pistons team that will play hard, that will play every game to win under JB Bickerstaff, I think they got some dogs. I think they got a real shot at this, especially if it's only 36 wins.
I like the 36 win number. I do. I don't think that will be enough to get you in the play-in. Well, play-in's 10.
10. You got to be better
you
than
only have to be better than 5 teams in the East. I'm looking at the Eastern Conference standings right now. I can pick 5 teams I think the Pistons will be better than this year.
That's
you got
what
the
I'm
Brooklyn
saying.
Nets. You got the Washington Wizards.
Yep.
You've got the Charlotte Hornets.
Yep.
You got the Atlanta Hawks.
Yep. That one might be tough, though, maybe.
And then it gets kind of wary.
You named one that I think is going to be really at the bottom. The Bulls and Toronto. I don't think Toronto's good at all. I think they suck.
So you got the Nets, the Wizards, the Hornets, the Bulls, and the Raptors.
Yes.
Are 5. And then borderline, I think the Hawks are going to suck this year.
They're up and down. You don't know which way
I don't
they're
believe
gonna
in
go.
Trae Young at all.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. You got to be better than 5 teams. I think you can be better than those 5 teams because the Hornets are going to be bad.
Yes.
The Nets and the Wizards are going to be really bad.
Like terrible. Like us bad.
Like
really,
us
bad.
Around
like
20
Monty
wins
Williams
bad.
is your head coach bad.
I think that this Pistons team winning 35-plus games is not the craziest thing that could happen. And if that could get you into the playoffs.
I'm telling you, man. It's plus 900 this morning to get them in the playoffs. So that means they would make it through the tournament, obviously.
Yeah.
The play-in, that is. But not the in-season tournament, which is a whole nother thing. I got some odds on that. But, I think it's doable, man. I think we're not asking for that much. Now, would I say it's the most likely outcome? Probably not. But is it a reasonably likely outcome? Absolutely. Because I think this team should finish they should finish easily over 3 of those teams, right? 4?
Yes.
Like, how many of those teams would you say you're, like, very confident the Pistons are finishing over? I'd say at least 3, if not 4. And then you're talking you're 1 or 2 spots out of it.
That is, I mean, I can't be mad at that. Like, I think it. You play 4 games against those teams, right? Eastern Conference teams.
3 against East. That's not in your division.
Not in division, so 3 against those teams.
And
The
unfortunately, there's no
Raptors, you
bottom
play
feeders.
4 games against. The Bulls, you play.
No, they're the Atlantic.
I thought the Raptors were in our division.
No,
the Bulls are though.
Yes, the Bulls.
The Bulls you play 4 games against. You get 3 against the Raptors, 3 against the Nets, 3 against the Hornets.
I mean, add those up. You're winning a majority. If you win, 75% of those, you're already. And then you just pick up regular season wins.
Fellas.
I think 35 is what they're going to win. I put money on that. I don't know if that'll be. I don't know if 35 wins will be better than the Raptors or the Bulls. Those are the 2 teams that I would worry about that 35.
I don't know why. I think the Raptors are going to be one of the bottom 3 teams in the league. I think they're going to be right there. Maybe not 3 in the league, but bottom 3 in the East. They're terrible, dude.
We can all spew which team's better in the bottom of the East, which obviously it's not too hard here. But what needs to happen for this Piston team, the biggest reason why they're better than the other 5 teams that we were just talking about,
is exactly what they sucked at last year, shooting and defense. Yes. And we talked about, I mean, I know they are in different paths, different exits on the highway, and different things like that. But you look at what the Lions did bad last year. It was the secondary and it was the defensive line, and they attacked that with 2 new coaches. A new secondary coach, a new defensive line coach, guys that are respected, guys that made a difference, and it looked like it's made a difference so far. And they added personnel in both of those areas. What were the Detroit Pistons the worst at last year? Defense and shooting. And that's how you win. That's why, no shit, they only lost 14 games. If they're the worst team defensively and the worst team 3-point shooting, they're not going to win any games. Exactly. They went out there They got J.B. Bickerstaff, who fundamentally changes defenses everywhere he goes. Look it up. He took a Memphis team from low teens in defensive efficiency to top 3 in the middle of the season. Like in the season when he took over, he did that. He brought the Cleveland Cavaliers to a top 5 defensive team for a couple of years. And then you bring Fred Vinson in, who is a 3-point shooting coach genius, who has fixed guys before. And on top of bringing in coaches to help change those velocities, you brought in some bodies.
Yes.
You brought in guys that could shoot. You brought in Tobias Harris, who can actually shoot and stretch the floor from the 4 spot. You brought in Malik Beasley, who can shoot and defend at a high level. Fontecchio, you get a full year out of him as a shooter. They addressed their biggest positions of need, and they got pieces that I like in those needs.
Yeah, you don't have a team that where you're just rolling the dice and like, all right, whoever, if this lands on a 6, Kevin Knox, you're checking in. Like, it's just, it was a terrible team last year in terms of roster construction. And we've seen it with these playing teams. There's all different paths. There's teams that were 18th in offense, 16th in defense. There's teams that were top 10 in offense and 27th in defense that made the play-in. There's all sorts of ways. There's not really any type of set structure to get into the playoffs. So that means that this team just has to be, they could be really good on one end of the ball, or even just pretty good on one end of the ball and not terrible on the other end of the ball, and get into the playoffs. And I think J.B. Bickerstaff can at least turn around the defense. I think Cade Cunningham can at least propel you with proper spacing to a top 15 offense. Is that too crazy?
Top 15.
Maybe just outside that.
Maybe just outside that.
Like
yeah.
15 to 18 range, I think is like the bare minimum you should have as an offense with Cade as your guy. I think he alone can provide you above a top 20 offense. And then you just have to be not the worst defense.
Yeah, I think
that's a play-in.
I think they're going to be good defensively this year. I really do.
Two guys that we ranted on and on about how you fix this Piston team. It starts with defense, and it starts with these two guys who are both starters on this team, Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey. You see them lock in defensively with the athleticism that they bring to the floor night in and night out. I think that's going to change this defense significantly and raise those two guys' ceilings where they help this team propel themselves from the worst year ever in the history of basketball to a team that you can respect, that you have legitimately, you enjoy watching them.
Yeah.
I think they're going to win some games this season strictly based on those two guys getting a lot better defensively because of J.B. Bickerstaff. I don't think you guys are crazy at all. I just wanted to hear the game plan around it, but I know we got to hit break here shortly.
They don't have a terrorist coaching them anymore. Like Monty Williams isn't here anymore.
You got to be ready to play.
He checked out. It was obvious to see. He wasn't coaching when he was the Pistons head coach. He was just going through the motions, and it really disappointed me because I know he's a better coach than what he was putting out there yesterday.
Absolutely.
Or last year, yesterday. We got to go to break. We'll be right back. We're going to talk more Pistons. I want to talk about who needs to step up on this team to help out Cade. But let's talk about Les Stanford first. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service the customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. Nick, tell us about Second Best. Jesus.
Second Best Bar in Detroit. That's where the Best Lions pregame party is on October 27th. Join us at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show. Only at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Hey, if you're going downtown today, go check out Second Best. Come get some.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza now has signature wings. For a limited time only, you can get one of their 7 delicious flavors. My favorite is the spicy garlic, but try them all and choose for yourself. Like I said, limited time only, though. Get them while you can. Find a Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. For Chris, for Nick, for Pete, I am Spencer. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We just talked about the Platy Path and the Pistons potentially getting to the play-in. Platy Path to the Pistons play-in. All the P's you need. But
that's true.
If the Pistons do want to get to, I said 35 wins this year.
Yes.
They're obviously going to need some big contributions from other guys offensively. We didn't really see much contributions offensively other than Cade Cunningham on this team last year. I put in the chat, or in the prep, who needs to be the number 2 option on the Detroit Pistons behind Cade Cunningham? Who needs to be the guy that steps up and is the Robin to Cade's Batman?
I mean, look, everybody wants it to be Ivy, and I think Ivy is the person that raises this team's ceiling the most offensively. But to me, in realistic expectation, I expect it to be Tobias. He's a constant professional. He knows his spots to get to. He's a good shooter. I think he's the guy that is the one that you can plug in next to Cade, and he can be what you need him to be. You know, I like guys like Fontecchio and all of that, but I think they're more like 13, 14 points a game. I think Tobias is a guy who can, in this team, on this roster, get anywhere from 16 to 18 a night, and that's what you need to be your number 2. I think Ivy can have 20-point games. Hell, I think he can have 30-point games, but I don't think he's going to be consistently the number 2 scorer, the most reliable option. He's been great in the preseason shooting the ball, and if any of that is real, this changes this Pistons team a lot. But if you're just asking me generally what I expect, I'm expecting Tobias to be the second, and I'm okay with that. I think Tobias is your second option with the pieces around you, can be a 30-plus win team.
The player who needs to be the second option on this team and the player who I expect to be the second option on this team are the same player, and it's Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey needs to be that guy. He needs to be that Robin to Cade's Batman. He's going to have the ball in his hands more than Tobias Harris. I expect Tobias Harris to be a good contributor on this team, and he's going to see a lot of shots in crunch time situations, and he's going to see a lot of open shots. But that's what I want out of Tobias Harris. I want Tobias Harris on standing in the corner, waiting for the ball, knocking down threes, and if the offense isn't clicking yet, then give him a post up, then give him his one-on-one to run and try to get a bucket. But Jaden Ivey needs to be the number 2 on this team in this year because we saw what he did in preseason, which was absolutely insane. I don't expect him to be that efficient on this team, but he's going to have the ball. He's going to have the second most time of possession with the ball on this team behind Cade Cunningham. So he needs to be the guy attacking downhill, initiating offense, getting into his rhythm. Because just like Cade, Ivey is at his best when he's attacking the basket and has the ability to either make acrobatic layups or kick the ball out to shooters. So I think Ivey needs to be that guy with Cade initiating the offense, getting the ball into the hands of shooters, and making things happen. I love what Tobias is going to bring to this team, a veteran piece, a calming presence. But his role on this team is really going to be to hit open shots in the corner, on the perimeter, and if the offense is in a lull, go out there and get a bucket on the block or something like that. So I expect it to be, and I think it needs to be Jaden Ivey.
Speaking of a bucket on the block, I mean, yeah, you think about Ivy, you think about Tobias. Not on that, you think about a big guy in the center, Jalen Duren. Can he take that leap to be a flirting with all-star guy? I thought it was maybe going to happen last year. It didn't. This team was a train wreck. We know this. But who did J.B. Bickerstaff have in Cleveland? Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. He knows how to work with big guys and get the best out of them. Jalen Duren only attempted 9 field goals last year per game. Get that number up to 15. He averaged 14 points. He has a good free throw percentage for a center. Jalen Duren and his athleticism with guys like Cade and Ivy getting him the rock in space like we've talked about with guys like Tobias, guys like Beasley or whoever you want to put, Simone Fontecchio on the outside. It'll open things up for guys like Duren in the middle as well. And to clear all of those rebounds on offensive boards. I think Duren's due for a massive season. He averaged 14 points per game last year. Can he get that number up to 17? Up to 18? I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility at all for this team. And like I said on the defensive end, if he hits his ceiling, it takes his team to a different level. If Duren's putting up 17 to 18 points per game, this team starts to get like you're actually talking playing. We're not just dreaming about it.
And Pete, before we comment on that, because I'd like that, Nick, who do you need to be number 2 on this team behind Cade?
Yeah, I agree with you on the Jaden Ivey thing because he absolutely has to start stepping up and take that leadership role. I absolutely agree with you on that. And actually, real quick here, guys, I do have the official injury report for tonight's game. It just came out 5 minutes ago.
Nice.
Sweet. Perfect.
Probable Tim Hardaway Jr., Bobby Klintman, and
my guy.
And Bobby Klintman and Asar Thompson are out. Both of those were expected. Tim Hardaway Jr. probably going to play. So cool.
There you go. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, I agree with you on the Jaden Ivey thing. Please get him to step up. And I want you to hit your freaking bet. And if you're going to hit 35 games, 35 wins, Jaden Ivey's going to be your man, Spenny.
I agree. Chris, how do you feel about what he said about Jalen Duren?
I like it. I mean, look, I think part of what happened with Jalen Duren last year was not only the cervix really bothering him, but also
shout out that cervix.
Shout out that cervix, man. Get that cervix right. But it was also just the fact that, you know, the limited spacing didn't only really impact Cade, it also really impacted Jalen Duren.
A lot of people
because
in the paint.
Those were there was always just a lot of bodies around there. I think he will get cleaner looks at the rim. And I do think he has a little more to his game offensively. I've always wanted him to focus on the defensive side. I feel like that's right now where he's more valuable and ultimately long-term where he's more valuable. But absolutely, as a rim running like big, you can see guys like Clint Capella could find their way to 16, 18 a game when they were playing with Chris Paul and James Harden. Like when you have an elite playmaking point guard and you're a big man with that strong athleticism, you can find your way into 16 points per game pretty easily. So I like that, Nick. I think that's very possible. I don't know how much it's going to be scripted in JB's offense, but I do like that as a good option because, I mean, you're talking 4 lobs, a couple free throws. Like, you know, it's pretty easy for a big man of Jalen Duren's caliber to get to 18 on any given night.
I don't think Jalen Duren will ever be the number 2 on this team. Yeah. I love what he can do for you defensively. I love what he could do as a lob threat. And the potential for him on both of those is through the roof. If Jalen Duren is an all-star in this league, I think it's going to be more like Jared Allen as an all-star when he made his all-star appearance. This is a guy who rebounds better than anybody in the league. He blocks shots and protects the rim at a high level, and he's there for lobs and putbacks when needed. I don't see Jalen Duren ever being one of these, dominant offensive centers in the NBA. But I think he could be a damn good player in what he needs to do. I think he can be elite in what he needs to do. And that's like, can you go out there and can you be Jared Allen? Can you give me every rebound, clean the glass. Don't worry about that. Protect the rim at a high level. Give me a block and a half a game. Can you catch lobs from Cade in the paint? He's shown the ability to do that in flashes. His talent, his potential is through the roof. But if this team goes anywhere with how it's currently assembled, I think Jalen Duren is more of that super role player rather than a number 2. I think the number 2 would have to be Jaden Ivey or another scoring guard or wing.
Yes, I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, I think the way I just imagine it is Tobias and Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren all throwing up like 16, 17 a game.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think it's an extremely balanced offense that you see for the first time. You guys both took Tobias and Ivey. Wanted to give Jalen Duren a shout-out because I wouldn't be surprised if he walks into that with a better offense all the way around him.
Yeah, I mean, he's more comfortable with these guys now. You've got veterans on that team. I think he's going to learn a lot from Paul Reed. I think Paul Reed is going to teach Jalen Duren a lot. Like, you got to think the veterans that Jalen Duren, or the backups that Jalen Duren had were Isaiah Stewart and Marvin Bagley and James Wiseman. Like, no disrespect to Isaiah Stewart. I can disrespect the other two guys, even though, Marvin, you're my guy. We got great chemistry, me and Marvin Bagley.
That's true.
But those guys aren't going to teach Jalen Duren too much, especially not how to win, because none of those guys have been in winning situations. Paul Reed's coming from a winning situation. Paul Reed's seeing how an MVP does things every night. Like that's something that he could teach Jalen Duren, show him little things. Because say what you want about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is one of the most imposing defensive players in the NBA. So showing Jalen Duren, hey, this is what an MVP and Defensive Player of the Year caliber guy, this is how he rotates on blocks. This is how he helps off of his guy. That will help him for sure.
Yeah. And defense was what won him the award over Jokic, right? It was always that Jokic was obviously the better offensive player, but they felt Joel Embiid was more in the middle because of his good defense. And I like that Paul Reed, shout out because, can he be the Taj Gibson to Jalen Duren's James Wiseman?
I really think he can.
I mean, James Wiseman turned his whole career around off of Taj Gibson's 10-day
2 weeks
contract.
with Taj Gibson. Yeah.
Can Paul Reed be that for Jalen Duren? I think we uncovered something here.
I don't think he's going to be a guru or anything, but it's better than having Marvin Bagley or James Wiseman as guys that are trying to fight and make names for themselves. Right. Anyways, like Paul Reed's played in the NBA for a while. He knows what to do. He's played on good teams, winning franchises, so I'm excited for that.
Quick question, Spenny. Could we use Duren like Miami uses Bam from Bluegrass Wolverine?
I don't think, no. He showed to be able to facilitate at the high post a little bit last year. That's not what JB Bickerstaff likes to do with his bigs, especially with a guy like Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren has the potential to be able to do it, but it's not something they're going to throw out there this year in any real facet. We'll see it a little bit. He'll get a rebound. He'll take a couple dribbles.
I was going to say, I like the way he runs the floor, though. I saw that a lot in the preseason.
But with guys on this team like Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, and now Tobias Harris, those are guys you want initiating offense more than Jalen Duren.
Yeah, you want Jalen Duren to be more like in a sense, a Draymond Green, the guy that makes the pass from the pass.
Yeah,
like that's the better system for a Cade-centric team. But can he do a little bit from the high post? Absolutely, I think he can, and I think that's a good thing for a big man, as somebody that used to play center. Like you do like to give your center like a little bit of like, all right, here's your play.
Yes,
that's we all do that, running the play for the fullback. Yeah,
he'll get a couple plays, and like I said, Jalen Duren's potential is through the roof. But like what he is right now, he needs to dial in on being the best rebounder and defender that he can be, because he's already doing that at an extremely high level. So if he can become elite at that, it would benefit the Pistons the most this year. But going forward, he's got insane potential. We are going to go to break, and when we come back, I want to talk about the Pistons rotation. We saw Asar Thompson and Bobby Klintman out for this game. Tim Hardaway Jr. probable. We got rookie Ron Holland looking to make his NBA debut. Ow! Ron Holland! Screaming down the court! Wow! We're going to talk about that going forward, but first let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today, open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special. It's a scalp massage, a hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan that QR code in the corner of the screen to get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Have you ever thought about volunteering but don't know where to start? Start with Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You have the options to choose 2-hour sessions at physical Red Kettle sites or participate in a virtual bell ringing shift to raise funds from the comfort of your home. Runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com or hit the QR code to my right.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Smash that like button. Please like the stream and subscribe to the YouTube channel for Chris on the Desk.
Yes, sir.
My first show with Chris.
You're my best friend here.
You're my best friend here, Chris. We got Nick in the audio booth as always, and Unky Pete in the TD booth filling in. We appreciate you for joining us, Pete. We got a lot to talk about with the Pistons, obviously. We did their season prediction. We did what we expect out of them. The Platy Path, trademarked original idea, first made here on the Woodward Heavyweights show. Don't steal it. Now I want to talk about the Rook a little bit.
Yes.
Ron Holland. Everybody knows Flannel's reaction to when the Pistons drafted Ron Holland, which was, he'll even tell you it was a little bit of an overreaction, and he says he hopes Ron Holland makes him look like the dumbest person alive. Ron Holland is going to get more minutes in the beginning of the season than he might have expected at the year because Oscar Thompson is dealing with what he's dealing with. This is some video of Ron Holland getting some shots up before the game tonight in Detroit. What do you expect from the rookie? We saw in preseason he was as advertised. He was a freak in transition, nasty getting to the bucket, finishing above the rim, and an absolute menace on the defensive side of the ball. What do you expect out of Ron Holland in his rookie season for the Pistons?
I expect from him not a lot, honestly, because I was very high on Asar, and I think if Asar is the same player, that injury does concern me a lot because that's a very scary injury that he has with the blood clot. So hopefully when he gets back, all things are good. But Asar was, in a lot of ways, elite versions of what you'd like Holland to be right now to crack the rotation. Like Asar's elite defense was out of this world, and I think that's extremely valuable. And I think Holland can do a very good job. I like the way he attacked. He's a much better ball handler than Asar. Yep. He's much better at attacking the basket than Asar. So he has other different skills and tools. But I look at Ron Holland as a guy that's going to kind of have to fight for minutes. And I like that. I like that a number 5 overall pick is flying under the radar. That is a sign, because last couple years, our first round picks were put the weight of the entire world was put on their shoulders. And Ron Holland is going to come in and he's going to earn his minutes, and I think he will because he seems like the type of guy that works hard. And that's the type of guy that JB Bickerstaff likes to reward. So I think he'll carve out a spot in his rotation as long as Ausar is out. And then I think it's a battle to see which one of those two really gets that final rotation spot.
Nick, I saw you kind of cringe a little bit when he said Ausar Thompson. I know that's your guy.
He said Ausar Thompson's elite traits compared to Ron Holland.
Yes.
I don't think there's much of a difference here, Chris. I think Ron Holland fills into that Ausar Thompson role for this team as when you need a stop, as you need a stopper. I think Ron Holland fits in perfectly. You see a guy going on a run on the other team, JB, Ron, you're going in. Yeah. I think that's Ron Holland's role for this team. I think he's extremely athletic. I think he's going to be great in transition, and I think you can put him on the other team's best player and expect him to slow him down. He has elite traits with his athleticism. Question marks are shooting for both of them, or the question mark is the shooting for both of them. But yeah, I hope Ausar gets back. But until he does, I think he fills in that Ausar Thompson role without maybe some of the playmaking abilities that we saw Ausar Thompson have.
Yeah, and I just had like a thought because obviously not at this level. It's not going to be this level. These are different level, different caliber of players than what we're talking about with Ron Holland. But you remember in the playoffs, in the finals when LeBron was playing the Spurs. And he's shooting free throws and he's feeling good and he sees Kawhi Leonard check in and he's like, fuck.
Yep.
Because Kawhi would come in the game to check him. So maybe at some time this season, you know, Zach LaVine's having another 30, 40-point night versus the Pistons, and he's shooting free throws, and he sees Ron Holland checking the game, and he's like, fuck. And it's like the Temu version of the LeBron-Kawhi interaction. I can see it. Like, this guy's going to be a menace immediately. If there's one thing you could step into the league and do in the NBA, if you do it at a high level, it's defend on the perimeter.
Yes.
And Ron Holland has shown that he can do that.
I am not fully disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just partially disagreeing because I don't think we really understand the level of defender that Ausar was last year. And while I think Ron Holland can be a very good defender, while I think he can check the opposing team's best player at the start of the season and do a fine job, I mean, Ausar was holding SGA, Luka, MVP candidates to their worst shooting percentages.
He clamped up.
He was the number one paint protector in the NBA.
Yes.
The only person that was a better rim protector than him at the end of the season was a 7'3" Kristaps Porzingis. He is 6'7". The things that he did were at such an elite level. He was a great rebounder. He was at one point, he was a top 6 rebounder in the NBA, not just rookie, in the NBA. This guy has elite skill sets, and I know that he has his flaws offensively, and I understand the limitations that come with that, and I understand that Holland has those too. I just don't know if Ron Holland can step in and be quite the specialist that Ausar can.
I agree with that, Chris. I think right now today, Ausar Thompson is a first-team All-NBA defender.
I agree, 1,000%.
He is one of the best defenders in the league. Ron Holland, that is a big thing to just jump in and be automatically. But he's got the same track record as Ausar Thompson. This young kid, lanky, crazy athleticism, has an insane lateral quickness and cone split. Like, I think it's quite as possible, but I agree. The rim protection that Ausar Thompson was showing when he was a starter before that terrorist Monty was like, you're playing too good defensively. We're going to bench you.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for him to live up to, but...
Exactly. I think he could be like 80% of that, though.
Yeah.
And if he is, look, that's a good rotation. That's a rotation player. That's fine. Like, I'm not dismissing Ron Holland entirely in his Piston tenure and his contribution to this team this year. I'm not doing any of that stuff. But what I'm saying is that I just don't think he's going to match up to that elite standard that Ausar put. And if he could be 80% of that and a little more offensively, then he wins out the spot over Ausar. It's as simple as that.
Daryl Slaughter says, thank you. Ausar is way more talented than Ron. I don't know if he's way more talented than he defensively. He has to step up over him. We'll see. I think he does personally.
Yes.
Offensively, Ron Holland is better at attacking the rim and handling the ball in transition than Asar Thompson. Yeah.
Nick, how do you feel about your boy?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Fred Vincent hopefully he gets both of these guys to a decent clip because if that happens, this team's ceiling just skyrockets when you have 2 elite wing defenders that can both shoot. Is it crazy to say around 30%?
No, it's not crazy to say because we've seen him do it with guys like Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado. Like and Lonzo Ball had the ugliest jumper you've ever seen. Like, dude.
I mean, just from that clip that Pete played earlier, the hitch is not as bad.
Ron's shot does
and
not
I've
look
seen
bad,
Asar's clips from shout out our guy Kool-Aid who is at their practice and he gets the videos. Asar's shot's looking a lot better too. So if both of these guys can actually shoot the ball, these 2 top 5 picks, these 2 number 5 overall picks, end up contributing not just in a rotation but actual starter minutes for this team.
You're talking if those 2 can be productive enough offensively.
40
you're
plus
talking,
wins.
you're talking a top 3, maybe even top 1 wing defense in the NBA.
Yeah.
And you surround that with Cade Cunningham, who's already a jumbo guard.
Yeah, if you
the defense that you can put with Duren and what he physically possesses, this could be one of the most physically menacing teams in basketball if all of those things come together. I do think it will take time, and I do think it's a lot of ifs. But you guys are right.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, it won't. It won't. But even if one of them pans out like that sooner than we think, that also drastically changes the ceiling for this team.
I'm just excited to see, like, when we need a stop in this game, having a lineup out there of Cade Cunningham, Ron Holland, and Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
Just 3 perimeter defensive dogs. And then, like you said, eventually, if these guys could play together, having Ron Holland, Asar, and Cade Cunningham with Stu and Jalen Duren on the back end, defensively, that would be a damn good defensive unit. So we'll see. Obviously, that's not going to happen for a while. That's a pipe dream. That is the finished product of what you want these guys to be.
Do we have a timetable on Asar at all?
We do not. We do not. They haven't said much about it, but hopefully it is sooner rather than later. We're going to go to break. We'll come back. We got some props, some bets, some lines for the Pistons opener that we're going to go over. We got 2 betting savants up here. Pete's been making a lot of money this year. Nick, he loves that hot dog suit. So shout out to Caesar Sportsbook. We're going to get some lines up pretty soon, but let me tell you about Planet Fitness.
Oh, this shit is rigged.
Oh, no, sorry.
Actually,
you're right, Pete. Yeah. Tell us about divorce.
Come on. Divorce. Are you dealing with divorce, child custody visitation, or other family law issues? Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. They have over 10 years of experience and have 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK Law will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Main, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hot
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
How would you like free bud for a year? That's right, free smoke, weed, reefer, flower, whatever you call it. Your favorite cannabis product, you can get it for free. It's your chance to win it for a year. Compliments of Dispo Dispensary. All you have to do is scan the QR code right above me. Sign up and you will be entered with a chance to win. Don't miss out on this giveaway. Sign up today. Elevate your game. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. You must be 21 or older to enter. Terms and conditions apply. A part tipper deck, all that good stuff.
A Rabidac Scabbard, appreciate you for joining us here on the Woodward Heavyweights. Please smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. For Chris, for Nick, for Pete, I am Spencer. We are the Heavyweights, and it is opening night for the Detroit Pistons. We're sponsored by Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. So let's do some lines. I went a little crazy. Nothing too crazy, but I put it in a big parlay for the Pistons. Big parlay.
Okay.
It's almost plus 3,000.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
It is, but it's nothing crazy.
All right.
Cade Cunningham to record 6+ assists. Very doable.
Very doable.
Jalen Duren to record 12+ rebounds.
Block.
Very doable. Cade Cunningham to score 25+ points. Jaden Ivey to score 15+ points.
Block.
Tyrese Halliburton to score 15+ points.
Done.
Jaden Ivey 2 threes. Tobias Harris 2 threes. That's
Ivy?
not crazy.
None of that's crazy.
None of that's crazy. Yeah, Ivy 2 threes. I feel like if Ivy scores 15+, he's gonna hit a couple threes. I don't think that's too crazy of a, and it's like plus 3,000.
I'm trying to find the flaw in that.
What was your assist bet?
What's that?
What was your assist
It was Cade
bet?
assists, 6 assists. Who? 6, Cade. Yeah.
He's writing that down right now.
Yeah, that's right.
I like it. I like it. I think, I had some similar lines. You know, it's a good one to look at too. I think with Cade being the offensive juggernaut that he is, one I'm going to be looking at this year, and it's plus money right now for the Pistons to make 10 threes.
Wow.
And I think if you spread that out where you can kind of play it safe, where if you're not like, you're like, oh, I don't know if it's going to be a Tobias night or a Malik Beasley night or whoever, I think 10 threes is very doable between Cade himself plus the assists that he'll generate from this offense and the spacing that he has. I like that. It's almost even money for Jalen Duren to get a block tonight. I mean, come on. Like, yeah. I know he didn't block last year, but JB Bickerstaff
one block,
and what he does.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Jalen
like
Duren should walk into blocks. I don't understand why he couldn't get blocks last year. So maybe I'll die on that hill. If you want to do it a little more safe, you could get plus money if you do stocks. So that means a steal or a block for Jalen Duren. Yeah.
Stonks.
If you get 2 of those, 1.5 is the line. So if you get 2 either steals or blocks or 1-and-1, that's plus money. I like that. He does play the passing lane a little bit.
He plays the passing lane. He could grab a lob pass, something like that. They'll probably count that as a rebound, though, because they're bastards.
But listen, and Ivy, I like his rebounding totals, too. He has a very low line. I'm a big fan of if you can find lines of things that are under, like, 5.5.
Yeah.
Because those are pretty easy to get. And Jaden Ivey is pretty good on the glass, especially when he's in. He has a lot of high energy. He likes to go for those rebounds. I like his over-under at 3.5 rebounds as well. So, I mean, you do that. And then if you take Pistons on the spread, too, I mean, how are you guys feeling about them against the Pacers?
I like
Pacers are a good team.
The Pacers are a good team, but this is a winnable game.
I agree.
Okay, Nick, no, what are you going to say?
Let's not forget, boys, the past 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, started 1-0.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Magic, I was at the Sadiq Bay buzzer
Money
beater
line.
game, and then didn't we win against the Heat last year, or was it the Hornets?
Bulls, I believe.
The Bulls was opening, yes.
There was the Bulls home opener.
Yeah. The Heat was the first game.
That was the home opener. Yeah, on the road it was. Yeah,
I remember being here with the boys. We were like, "Holy shit, we're about to go to the playoffs."
Yeah, the opening game. It was either the Bulls or the Magic.
That was before Monty.
Showtime Pistons are fun.
Yeah,
fuck you.
That was before Monty realized that if he gets fired, he still gets the $67 million. Yeah.
Hey, I have one. This is my favorite bet of all of the entire night. I put 2 units on it. And it is Tobias Harris 2+ threes. Tobias Harris 2 made threes or more I got it at plus 125. I heard it's already down to 105.
Yeah, I got it at 104. So it's drinking.
I put it in at 125 this morning. I was surprised it was plus money. Like 2 threes. That's all he's going to be doing is sitting in the corner waiting for passes. He could get 2 threes in the first 10 minutes of the game.
That's what I like doing too. I like doing those things where if you're just feeling a player, like you're feeling like it's their night, go for 2 threes or something simple where it's like boom, you can knock that out in 1 quarter, and then all of a sudden you're golden, and that part of that leg of your parlay is done. So I love that one.
Yeah.
He's not historically taking the most 3-point attempts. He does like to do mid range, but I think in this system,
he's going to take him on this
team. System, yeah. They're going to be like, listen, buddy, you sit your ass in that fucking court. You park your ass right there, and then you shoot.
You park your ass there, and you shoot some fucking threes, Tobias.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he has 2 threes in the first quarter.
Yeah, fellas, I really like Tobias to get 15 points. I think Tobias is going to be one of the most undervalued signings in the league, like league-wide. He was a huge scapegoat for that 76ers team. Yeah, he didn't perform to his best in the playoffs. We all know what happened in the 0-point game or 0 field goals made, whatever it was. Yeah. But he got so much heat that nobody wanted to throw on Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. I think he comes in with a chip on his shoulder. He's been here before. He's going to be a really good mentor for everybody around him, a good positive mentor for that much. And let's not forget, he's a 3-way level scorer. He can get to the basket, he will pull up mid-range, and he will knock down threes. My favorite bet of the night is Tobias Harris, 15 points. I'm locking that one in. I put it in my parlay. I think Tobias 15 is an instant lock.
I mean, he averaged 18 last year, right?
Yep.
Right around there. I think he averages around 14 for his career, 14 or 15.
Yeah.
So
I think it was 17 or 18, something like right there.
Yeah, I don't hate that
if
at
you're
all.
filling one in, if you want one to fill in the parlay, make sure you throw in Tobias 15.
I like it. Pete, you got any bets that stuck out to you?
No, I'm just taking notes and listening, and so far we got like 8 legs built up here, but let's keep going, boys. I love this stuff. I'm listening and learning from you gentlemen.
Another one that I like that made me a lot of money last year that I think is another lock. Like, these are my 2 just straight bets that I made my locks were Tobias Harris, 2+ made threes. I put 2 units on it, and then I put 1 unit on Jalen Duren double-double. It was minus 175 for the Jalen Duren double-double, but the guy's a walking 10 and 10. It's what he does.
Yeah, he's one of those, like, last year it was like a Clint Capella thing where he'd get like 14 boards and 8 points or 6 points. It was so frustrating, but I think under this staff, he will be, more like a Jared Allen, where he is consistently getting those double-digit totals. I don't think he's going to be that weird kind of fit that he was last year under Monty the Terrorist Williams. I think he's a player that can be maximized offensively, so I like that. And then, did you put in yours anything about Cade threes?
I just put Cade 25+ points.
Yeah.
2 Cade threes, though, I saw it was like minus.
Yeah, it's like almost even.
Yeah, like
Tobias, by the way, I'm checking right now. It's plus 100.
It's plus 100.
He's dropping. You got it.
This guy I move lines. Yes. That's what I do. And yeah, that's crazy.
I'll tell you one bet I just did. I just plunked the Ben Franklin down on the over 1.5 threes for Tobias Harris.
I like it,
Full
Pete.
Ben Franklin.
Yeah, that's
plus 123 on our Caesar Sportsbook app.
Hell yeah, that's it.
Fellas, we kind of had something similar. I just want your thoughts on it. Which one fails here? I think it's literally we're all on the same page by a lot of these. K25, Duren 12 boards, Tobias 15, Ivy 15, Duren 10.
I like it. What are the odds on that?
Boosted to 1689.
Ooh, I like it, Nick.
Big night for the starters. Let's see how aggressive Cade comes out. We've seen him kind of be passive at first, kind of go pass first, try to facilitate. Does he have a different aggressive and assertiveness to his game where he's getting his shots early instead of getting his teammates shots early?
Yeah.
I want to see which kind of Cade Cunningham we see this season, because I'm expecting him to take a big step in scoring specifically and getting to the rim.
I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't be surprised if Cade went for 30 tonight, just because, like, the spacing that we saw him have in the preseason was so impressive and something he didn't see. He's going to be so excited to take these shots. Like, he is going to get open mid-range twos. He's going to get easy lanes to the basket because he's not going to have 3 defenders collapsing on him when he gets into the paint. So I'm excited for it, man. I think Cade's going to have a big night. I do.
He's going to be just as excited to pass, too. Like, I really think the fact that he has these offensive weapons that are, like, tantalizing to him. Now, I know they're not, like, they're not what some of these other teams have around the league. But ultimately, you're looking at Cade Cunningham and what he's dealt with in the past. He's going to be giddy as hell to pass that ball to Malik Beasley, to Tim Hardaway Jr., who he has the Houston Connect with. Like,
did the starting lineup come out yet?
Yeah, I think he's really gonna pass that ball as well too. So
Cade's gonna have a big night. He's gonna want to put a show on in front of the fans. Oh yeah,
knows
starting lineup right here. Our guy Kool-Aid just posted it. If you want to hear the starting lineup, you're gonna have to stay through the break. But first, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $10 a month. You can upgrade to the Black Card and get easy amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 1,500 locations around the world. Planet Fitness, sign up in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. And let me tell you about the Watch Party, live at Hayes Social, the Watch Party and the post-game show, presented by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1800 Tequila. Like I said, live at Hayes Social. It's going to be a great time. It was a lot of fun last week, nail-biting game. This week, we're going to be able to sit back, watch a blowout, enjoy some Sorokis, and have a good time. Come out and join us at Hayes Social.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Into any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Go get yourself some new clothes because what you're wearing right now sucks. The Pistons are starting. The Red Wings are starting. Go get some sports merch from shop.woodwardsports.com and represent. Turn those heads. Look good. Feel good. Shop.woodwardsports.com. We got your Detroit sports merch.
Welcome back. Oh, the Top Gun graphic.
Oh, hey, yo.
Welcome back. Make sure you smash the like button. For Chris, for Nick, for Pete, I am Spencer. We are the Woodward Heavyweights here on Woodward Sports. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the network. We got the starting lineup graphic dropped by our boy Kool-Aid.
Shout out
Pete, can
Kool-Aid,
you throw
man.
this up?
I got it, buddy.
So the one I would say spot that was really up for grabs was that small forward spot on the Detroit Pistons. You knew the other 4 guys were going to be the starters. Yeah. Tim Hardaway Jr. starting at small forward with Tobias Harris and Jalen Duren as his front court mates. In the back court, we got Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham. No surprises there. Chris, how you feeling about Tim Hardaway Jr. getting the start after struggling in the preseason shooting the ball?
I get it for logistical rotation reasons, but man, I would have just went with Tech. Like, he's a great shooter. Just put Tech with Cade for as many minutes as possible. I understand the defensive deficiencies that come with having him and Tobias, but ultimately, if you put Tech out there, man, that's a lot of space for Cade to operate with Tobias, Tech, Ivy shooting at the historic clip that he's shooting at. I just think Tech has been one of the best wings, if not the best wing for the Pistons. And so I think that's a guy that you should reward with the starting spot. I think Beasley, I get it. He's a little smaller. You may want to play him as more of a 2-guard rather than a 3. So I do understand that logistical part of it. But, man, just throw Tech in there, dude. I don't think Tim Hardaway is providing much more defense than what Tech is giving you offensively. I don't see the trade-off there, especially if this guy is not having a good season already, a preseason, albeit, so not concerned. That plus the fact that, he is probable, he's dealing with an injury. Yeah. I just would have went with Tech, man. That's a more sure thing.
Nick?
Yeah, I think in my eyes this comes down to one thing. Maybe you want to split up Hardaway and Beasley, because them boys just let it fly from the outside. They're catch and shoot type guys. They let it go from the corner, and maybe they're a little too nervous. The ball doesn't move at all if you're putting them on the same line, basically. If you're putting them on the court at the same time within Hardaway and Beasley, I would have gone with Fontecchio as well. Ooh. I really like Fontecchio's game. Even when they attack him on the outside, he can get to the hole. He really can. If he shows a pump fake, he gets to the hole, and he opens things up for everybody else. I actually think his defense is a little underrated. He is a sneaky athletic guy on the outside. I think he plays good team defense as well.
Good team
I have a lot of faith in Fontecchio.
A lot of faith in him.
I know we made fun of him last year when we got Fettuccini because we didn't know how to say his name. That was one of the most underrated moves that Troy ever made.
Yeah, I mean, we all liked that move when they made it. We just couldn't pronounce the guy's name. But Fontecchio, I'm not mad at it. It's you put the veteran in there to start. Yeah. You got 2 veterans with 3 young guys, and I think that is a good move. You got 2 guys out there in Tim Hardaway Jr. and Tobias Harris that if shit's getting bad, both of those guys could go out there and get you a bucket. Yeah. So I'm good with it, honestly. I don't think Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be the black hole that he was in preseason when this regular season gets started. I think he was just chucking up shots. Pete, what are you laughing about in there?
Sorry, I got... maybe at the end of the show, I got 2 very interesting NFL stories that have just come down.
Oh, shit.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. All right, we'll get into that
sorry, I
in a little bit. No, you're fine.
I think it'll be good for Ivy, though, when he runs that second line, maybe as the point guard, if he gets pulled early in this first quarter, to have a guy like Fontecchio and Beasley both with Ivy on that second unit where you don't really miss a beat. I think maybe that's what JB's thinking.
Yeah, that's Fontecchio's a 4 to me. You guys are good with Fontecchio playing 3?
I am.
Yes.
I'm good enough with it.
I'd rather him be the backup 4.
I think you're gonna probably close with him at the 3 though. I don't like what Tim Hardaway provides defensively as a 3. I don't like what he provides there. I think Tech, the offense trade-off is worth it to me. I think Tech has been, again, I think he's been the best wing for the Pistons, and I think that guy should be playing. I get Tobias slot, like we said, was never questioned.
Yeah, he started.
And I get it's not a perfect fit. He is more of a 4 than a 3.
Yes,
but I think he's a 3 enough. At least to start, at least to get the offense coming. I like that a lot.
Weezy D313 says Tech is Tobias light. I agree. I think they're pretty similar players and play styles. They're both.
I think he's improved Steve Novak.
No, he's not Steve Novak.
Discount double check, man.
Both of those guys, I like them at 4 more than I like at 3. So
I agree.
Having Ron Holland and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley get the 3 minutes, and have Tech and Tobias. Fontecchio is Tobias Harris's backup, and I'm good with that. At the 3, you're going to have either Ron Holland or Malik Beasley or Tim Hardaway Jr. So I'm cool with this, honestly. Like I said, I don't think Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to shoot as poorly as he did in preseason. Do you guys think that trend's going to continue? Because throughout his career, he's proven that it won't.
No, but I don't know if tonight's the night he turns it around. I
mean,
think
it's
that's
first night of the season.
Yeah,
he doesn't turn anything around.
Well, yeah, technically, I guess those other games don't matter. But you get what I'm saying in that, it might be a slump that he works his way out of, especially dealing with the injury. So I would have went Tech for the offense, but I'm not mad at it. I think both those guys are rotation players, and the thing about basketball that's different than a lot of other sports is, you're choosing who you close with. It's not who you start with, it's who you close with. So in the game, if Hardaway's feeling it, then that was the right decision. If he's not feeling it, you can make up ground by playing Fetty more minutes, or you can move things around. It's not about how you start games, it's about how you close games.
As a fellow microwave, I totally agree with you. That's how Tim Hardaway scores. He's extremely streaky, and if he gets hot,
fellow microwave.
He gets hot, and if he's ice cold, he's not playing much on this team. That's straight out. You don't really owe him anything. He was a cap casualty for them, and we got a second-round pick out of it.
You guys are already throwing this guy away. This is crazy.
All right.
We haven't even played a game yet.
Don't gaslight.
I mean, he doesn't deserve anything if he's not. He's your veteran. He's a guy that was an important player for
sit down, old man.
Why did Dallas move him?
Because they wanted to get better, and Dallas was in a much better spot than we were last year.
Did
you see our lineup compared to Dallas's lineup last year?
They paired a second rounder with him to get him off their team. Let's not act like we just got...
improve. Let's not act like we just got some bum. This guy's an NBA player and was far better than anyone that would have played in this spot last year for the Pistons.
How many points
is
he average this year,
Marshall and Klay Thompson, and Najee
Probably
Marshall was the guy I
9 or 10.
wanted for the Pistons.
Do you think you can rely on this guy to shoot a strong percentage from three all season and be relied upon to be a good starter for this team?
I think I can rely upon him tonight to knock down three-pointers, which is what we're talking about. Can you rely on Malik Beasley for that?
We all said before I would like Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley's a better defender for sure, but offensively they're the same.
We're all picking fights about the fifth starter here. This is a nothing burger. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's why I don't know why everybody's getting so worked up about it. I see people in the comments. He shouldn't even be on the roster. He shouldn't even be in the rotation.
That's ridiculous.
Like,
he's a fine rotation piece.
Exactly.
I mean, he's not even a terrible starter. I just think there was a better starting option.
We were pissed off last year about not having shooters in the lineup. Now we're starting one. You guys are mad about it.
There's a better shooter on the bench. That's all I said.
He's not a 3. Fontecchio is not a 3, man. He is Tobias Harris's backup. That's what he is. It would take a couple injuries for them to start Fontecchio and Tobias at the same time.
I think that's how they view him. I just would have done it. I don't.
I think that 3 spot is going to be for Hardaway, Malik Beasley, and Ron Holland. I think Fontecchio and Tobias are the 4s.
Jaden Ivey revenge game too.
Jaden Ivey revenge game. That's true. That is true. Going up against Ben Mathurin.
Yeah,
I like
your 15 points.
Or we're gonna go to break. Get your mailbag questions in the chat, and we'll answer some of them coming up next. But tell us about New Holland. I'll tell you about New Holland. I forgot that was mine. New Holland Brewing Company. Taller Long Drink. It is delicious. It's made with the gin that Taller Long Drink or that New Holland makes. Because a taller is New Holland. A long drink is just a gin-based cocktail. So anywhere you see a long drink, it's just a gin-based cocktail, but the taller long drink is the one you want to get. Made with real grapefruit puree, sourced here in Michigan. New Holland Brewing Company, they're the best in the game.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Main, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap Biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah.
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Fuel your Lions fandom with a perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you are gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com, choose your favorite roast, use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake, unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm not reading some of your comments because it's just pissing me off.
Dude, he crashed out over break.
I crashed out during break. For Chris, great job today on the desk, by the way, Chris.
Appreciate
Nick, great job as always. Pete, same with you. Thank you for filling in. Always top level stuff. Mailbag questions here in the chat. First one, Spenny, will you sign my WSN shirt tomorrow? Of course. I'll sign anything anybody presents to me unless it's a body part of anything other than a hot woman. Like, if it's a dude's body part, no, probably not gonna do it. I'll sign your arm or something, but all right, yeah, I'll sign your shirt.
You want me to throw out 2 futures while you're looking for mailbags?
Yeah, let's hear 'em.
That, like, plus 1,200 for Jalen Duren to lead the NBA in rebounds per game.
Plus 200?
1,200.
Okay.
Plus 1,200.
Sabonis, tough.
What was Durham was what, 3rd last year? Or
I don't remember offhand. And it is plus, let me get this number right, plus 2,500 for Cade to win most improved.
Oh, Duren wasn't even top 10.
Most improved for Cade Cunningham. I think if the team wins a lot and they become a darling story, I think Cade could get it. SGA was a guy who,
I like it.
Yeah,
he's a marketable player too.
Most improved for Cade.
Market him.
Plus 2,500.
I mean,
sprinkle a couple dollars.
How
on
much is he going to improve though? You know, like what? Couple points per game.
You know the NBA
Team
awards are
improvement,
narrative.
yeah.
If they are a playoff team, and I could see the narrative. I could see a narrative.
I could too. Mailbag here, Aaron to the Stone. Yo, Spenny, I saw the vid of Halliburton with the 3 white chicks, and he's
Dude,
ready
that was crazy.
for them to be sexy AF. But on the real, they kind of looked like friends from his summer camp. Not impressed. I mean, hey, dude, you're having a foursome with
three
with 3 other chicks. Yeah.
Math is math.
A couple of them don't have to look too great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, 3 threes making 9, brother. So
absolutely.
Any
Make
more
like a
mailbag?
27. You multiply that.
Fuck it. We want to. Oh, one more here from Phil.
One more.
Will the Pistons have new uniforms? They got some new uniforms this year. They're not going to be wearing them opening night though. I like their new uniforms though. I know Nick doesn't like them.
They look like OK States.
Yeah, I think they look cool. But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you tapping in. Pistons on tonight.
Yes, sir.
For Uncle Pete, for Nick, for Chris on the desk.
Thank you.
I am Spencer Exter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Go Stones. Peace.
Peace.